Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? This is your boy, Rob Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Oh, yeah, today is Sunday, August 4th, 2019, and we're going to get right off into it. Right now, we want to talk about the latest two mass shootings, plus pretty much every other mass shooting that has taken place in the United States over the last 20 years. We want to put the emphasis on the fact that your government here in America would have you believing that a bunch of people way over in the Middle East are the biggest threat to domestic security. When I say domestic, that means here in America, security. They want you to believe that after that false flag called 9/11, that we got to worry about a bunch of people from Afghanistan, Yemen, Iraq, Iran, the UAE, excuse me, all these other places, except notice they don't never say nothing about terrorism coming from Saudi Arabia. They'll throw Iran, Iraq, Libya, countries that we went in to destroy, to take their oil. They're going to say all the terrorism is coming from these countries. But when you look back here in America, over the last 20 years, none of your mass shootings or mass murderous terroristic events, including 9/11, really came from a bunch of people overseas. Now, 9/11, that was plotted by your government with the help of other governments such as Israel and Saudi Arabia, and it was alleged that 17 of the 19 hijackers on that day, 9/11, came from Saudi Arabia. We went and started bombing Iraq. The truth is, here in America, we have more to fear from homegrown domestic terrorists, like a lot of these young white boys. Y'all forget my language, this ain't got nothing to do with race, but the truth is what it is. Even black people. The one thing, let me ask y'all a question. What is the one thing that all these mass shootings have in common? Pretty much 95% of your mass shootings in the last 20 years got one thing in common. And when I say it, a lot of y'all gonna laugh and you gonna trip, but it is the bloody truth. And the one thing that all these mass shootings have in common is that the shooter was on some type of antidepressant. Now, laugh if you want to, but when you look at the commercial or you read the medical sheet about these antidepressants, what the first side effect that it tells you have? Violent or suicidal thoughts. Now, again, everybody gonna look at me as a conspiracy theorist when I say this, but you have to go back and look at MK Ultra. These are actual documented and verifiable programs that your government sponsored research for. And under MK Ultra, they was basically studying the effects of different type of pharmaceuticals on the human brain, which would allow these people to be susceptible to brainwashing and manipulation. Now what you have is a bunch of kids, bunch of people in America already on these screwed up antidepressants that basically got them suicidal or violent. And then all they need is a nudge from one of these CIA operatives, one of these FBI informants, one of these alphabet boys, moles, somebody to push them in that direction to go out there and shoot up a mall or something like that. But guess what? When it's all said and done, the malls and everything that's getting shot up is not by people from Iran. It's not by people from Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, places that we are actually literally bombing the shit out of right now. Guess what? Ain't no terrorists from those countries have committed any crimes here inside America. It is homegrown white boys and a few black people, maybe a few Hispanics or other people thrown in the mix, but it's homegrown terrorists right here. And the one thing they all got in common is they all on them antidepressants. So you're sitting here, what you're witnessing is a push to take all the weapons from everybody based upon the actions of a few people who are under the influence of these heavy psychotropic of pharmaceutical drugs, and in some cases who are being pushed by CIA, because we know that a couple of these shooters were CIA operatives who were on these drugs at the time that they were influenced to do what they did as far as the mass shooting. So now you want to take everybody's gun, but let me ask you all as Americans one question, especially black Americans who are responsible. Are you sure that the only people in this country you want to have guns are police and criminals? Because guess what? If they take away your right to have a gun, guess what? Here in America, there's so many guns. The criminals are going to find a way to get them, and the police already got them. And guess who left the fuck out? When somebody's trying to kick your door in at 3 o'clock in the morning, guess who's going to be stuck out? You are. Because the Negroes that finna kick your door in and got an illegal gun, then came in and robbed you, and then when the police come, they got guns. You the only one that ain't got a gun. So gun control right now is the biggest false flag issue we have to worry about, because they're literally promoting these events. They're pushing these people out here to go and commit these mass acts of terrorism in order to show you this on TV and get you to saying, we got to do something about guns. But guess what? If I sit a gun right here on this rocker chair with me, I can leave this gun here for 17 years straight. As long as a crazy motherfucker, excuse my language, as long as somebody crazy don't pick that gun up and go out and shoot somebody, that gun ain't killed nobody. But the problem is not guns, it's crazy motherfuckers with guns. That is your problem. You see what I'm saying? You have to be mentally ill to go into a Walmart and shoot 90-some times. But guess what? If there was one sane person in that Walmart, when this white boy, this Negro, or whoever comes in shooting, that one person got a gun, he gonna fire back, and guess what's gonna happen? The shooter is gonna eventually get killed or blown out. Why are these shooters targeting the places that they're targeting? Because there are no gun zones. They know it's nobody in that zone is allowed to carry a gun. So that's where they're gonna come in and shoot. Think about it. How many mass killings have you seen at an NRA meeting? Think about that. You won't. Because somebody in that NRA meeting is going to knock the killer's head off, so the killer has already said, I'm not going there. But when your kids go to school, guess what? They're gun-free zones. So this is what they come and do all that death, damage, and carnage with the hopes of the mainstream media help keep pushing that take all the guns away from everybody agenda. Now, I did this video for YouTube. I'm going to upload it to Facebook also. But we got to ask ourselves the question, who are the terrorists really? And I believe, I'm going to give you the answer in my opinion. The terrorist is your government, who wants everybody here to be disarmed so they can eventually take over without an armed rebellion against them. The enemy is those in your government who would have you not able to defend yourself, depending on them for political solutions to a spiritual and physical problem. You know what I'm saying? The problem is too many people are on these dangerous ass antidepressants, where the main side effect again is tell you violent and suicidal behavior. I guarantee you, if you go look up at the background of every mass killer here in Shreveport, here in America, over the last 20 years, the one thing they all got in common is that most of them was either on at the time or detoxing from antidepressants, which the pharmaceutical companies themselves tells you causes violent or suicidal behavior. But if you look at it on the news, it's just a bunch of crazy people with guns. The gun to kill these people. Guess what? More people every year get stabbed to death or killed with a bat. You got just as many people that get killed with baseball bats. I ain't gonna say just as many, but you got damn near 3,000 people get killed every year with baseball bats. So you gonna ban them? Look how many people get ran over with a car every year because somebody got mad. We just had that happen in Shreveport, where a girl ran over another person with a car. Truth is, if somebody want to kill somebody, they're gonna kill somebody, whether it be with a gun or a leaf blower that they modified to shoot out leaves at a high rate of speed to kill you. People gonna kill whether they got a gun or not. So the answer is not taking away the guns, because again, when you take away the guns, you take away the rights of the law-abiding citizens to protect themselves and their families. So I just did this video. We're going on 10 minutes. It's a little bit too long. I'm going to just shut it down. Y'all, it's something to think about. And from this point on, we'll talk about it in the comment sections, and I'll do another video. Until then, y'all be blessed.